I cannot take all of the credit. This video is very simple. This is a two-way street. I make these videos to share some of my favorite fragrances with you guys. You can take them as recommendations or not. But from time to time, I do get comments from you guys. Actually, not time to time. You guys recommend fragrances to me all the time. All the time. It's overwhelming. So many. And there's some that I've actually taken note of. I have a note on my phone of fragrances I've been meaning to try, and specifically ones that have come from you guys. And there have been a handful that I have been able to try. Some that I've been so interested enough so to go out and actually get it, and some I've actually had some of you guys so generously send them to me
because I stalled on getting them for so long.
And it became one of my favorites, and I've talked about it a lot since, so you've effectively changed the course of my life. It is that serious. But today I'm just talking about 5 fragrances that I talk about a lot. And I was sitting looking at my collection, I was like, you know what? I do try to say as often as I can when one of these fragrances came from one of you guys or was recommended to me by one of you guys, but I want to dedicate a video to it. So this could be one part of many. Again, just testing the waters with just 5. So I want you guys to let me know what you think down below. I do plan on trying more of your recommendations, but again, frankly, it's tough to get to them all. I'm getting new stuff all the time. I don't always have time to research and find the best deal and all that stuff. So anyway, let's dive right into it. No particular order. I do have to say that a few of these fragrances were gifted to me by members of the Fresh Fam, my Patreon group. You guys are incredible. I cannot tell you enough with words how much I appreciate you, all your support, all the behind the scenes conversations and everything. So I appreciate you guys so much. One fragrance that I talked about a lot on this channel that has opened my world up to this house, and I think has allowed me to open up a lot of your worlds to this house as well, is Chris Collins' Oud Galore. And this was a gift from my friend Wayne, who is a part of the Fresh Fam. He just went ahead and sent this to me along with a bunch of samples. I was blown away. I smelled it and I was somehow even more blown away. This stuff is incredible. I've talked about it so much, so I'm not gonna say a whole bunch about it, other than the fact that this is probably one of the best, in my opinion, best westernized oud fragrances on the market that is made accessible to the average nose. Beautifully elegant, slightly sweet and jammy, but medicinal and woody with this buttery orris quality, making it creamy and smooth, a little bit of warm spice from cinnamon in there. An utterly gorgeous scent profile that is extremely elegant. I only like to wear it dressed up. This is Oud Galore from Chris Collins, so thank you, Wayne. Most of these fragrances are attached to a particular person or group of people. There is one which I cannot remember who was the person that changed my mind if that was the case, but I know a lot of you have mentioned it. We'll get to that later. But this one was also recommended to me by several members of the Fresh Fam, Eric being one of them, notably, that I can remember off the top of my head right now. He said how much he loved this one, and I trust Eric's opinion because Eric is the type of guy who doesn't have a lot of bottles. If he's gonna get a full bottle of something, it's gotta be really, really special. Otherwise, he lives on samples. And in many ways, I envy Eric because that sounds like a way to enjoy fragrances without being overwhelmed. Anyway, we're talking about Nishane B-612. When I finally picked up a bottle of this stuff as per the recommendation that I got over and over and over, I saw the hype. This stuff is incredible. This is a beautiful modern fougere. It has a cleanliness to it, almost reminiscent of coming out of a barber shop, kind of creamy, smooth, a little sweet and fresh, but it's less old world smelling. Again, very, very modern. You have a warm, cozy feeling from Cashmere, which is a woody quality in here that just smells like something you want to get close to. It's kind of hard to describe. There's a beautiful warmth to this scent while still being fresh with lots of lavender. No real spices, which are typical for a fougere. So that's a little bit unusual, but I think that adds to its modernity. It's overall smooth and woody. There's some cypress in here as well, bringing again a different kind of woody aspect to it. So elegant, but so easy to wear. It could be really versatile. I like to wear this casually or dressed up pretty much all year round, but it does thrive in the spring and summer, I would say. But I'd wear it in the fall too. Gorgeous fragrance, and I have you guys to thank for it once again. So thank you, Fresh Fam. This fragrance was recommended to me over and over and over by Crochet. You know who you are? At least 2 years ago, they were recommending this to me video after video. Hey man, you gotta try this fragrance. It's the best cheap fragrance I've ever tried. You gotta try it, you gotta try it. And they caught me at a good time. I was doing some shopping and I was like, there it is. It's like $19. Let me add it to the cart. Jean 3 AM. A lot of you guys have went ahead and picked this up as a result of me talking about it so much ever since, because I got hooked. Wanna know why? That atomizer though. As I've said, I spray this in the air. It literally makes the air cooler. It is so refreshing. It is so cold smelling, cooling, lots of cardamom, lots of tonic water and citruses and leather and fig leaf. It is super fresh, super bright, kind of fizzy smelling, but there is this slightly sexy, spicy edge to it that makes it a little bit alluring, even for a fresh scent, something that I generally like to say for the summer. On a hot, hot day, you can really douse yourself with it very easily as a result of this very, very potent atomizer. It's basically a fire hose. 3 AM, I have Crochet to thank. My channel would not be the same without this fragrance. I've talked about it so much. I'll continue to talk about it. Again, it's super cheap. It's one of the easiest cheap fragrances that I can recommend. And as you guys already know, I don't talk about a ton of cheap fragrances because I'm very picky in that regard, but this one, I can't get by it. It's fantastic. This one was, again, more or less shoved in my face. I mean that with all the respect that I can muster. It was sent to me by my friend Frederick, who I've mentioned, who honestly, Frederick has gifted me with several bottles over the years and has really blown my mind with his taste, because we've just found that our tastes align. He's been super generous and said, hey, you have to try this. I'm just gonna send it to you. And I'm like, what? And then it arrives and I'm like,
I see what you meant.
And the one that's been the most impactful on this channel has to be Ganymede. I don't need to talk about it anymore because I have talked about it a lot. Fresh, metallic, minerally suede with a little bit of a strange curry vibe. Smells incredible. Thank you, Frederick. This last fragrance, I got a decan of it a couple years back. I tried it, didn't like it. I found it repulsive on my skin. I had a lot of you guys responding to that video saying, dude, you have to wait. Wait until it gets cold and you will love it. And I was like, we'll see. So I put it away for a while. I came back, I tried it again. I'm like, and I was trying to not like it. I'm like, this is kind of good.
It's kind of good. I think it's good. It's quite good.
I got a bottle and I've only liked it more and more with every wearing. Carlisle. Yes, I was definitely in the minority because so many people love this fragrance. I genuinely was proud to say I didn't like it, but now I really like it. I really, really like it. And you guys are right. Those of you who mentioned that you gotta wait, you gotta wait. In the cold, this stuff is beautiful. It radiates around me all day long, warm, sweet, almost apple cinnamon kind of feel to it, a little warm, spicy, but there's a little bit of a dark brash quality to it that I really love. And I see it. I see why people love this stuff. A lot of people say it's a mixture of latent and Herod. I don't really get that. It's kind of its own thing for me. It doesn't change a whole lot, not all that complex, but for what it is a pretty unique profile. And I really dig it. My wife loves it. When I wore it recently, maybe a couple weeks ago, she could not stop complimenting me all day long. All day. I'm talking over the course of 12 or 14 hours. I want to thank you guys, the viewers, who convinced me to turn around, to soften, and to give it another chance. And I'm so glad I did. I'm going to have links to all the fragrances down below if you haven't tried any of these recommendations. Again, I'm only learning of them from you, so I'm just passing them back to you guys who haven't tried them yet. So again, let me know what you think of this video. I'd love to do another one. If you want to see another one, if there's enough interest, then I'll happily put another one together. Nonetheless, thank you so much for tuning in. Peace. I'll see you in the next one.